Hello, friends. We're finally back. It has been since, honestly, 2025 that we have been off because Bri and I both got sick after DLC Richmond. And we tried prepping for DLC Richmond. And then I made choices at midnight the night before.
And went against everything.
Yeah, it was an adventure. But now we're back and we have Zbexx with us. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Hey, thanks so much, Courtney and Bri, for having me. I'm super excited to be here and chilling with you guys tonight. Super fun.
So you have made your way over to Lorcana side from what we like to joke is the dark side on the podcast. It's not. We know Magic is still wonderful. Both of our husbands play Magic.
That's why we have to give it a little bit of grief because the boys like it so much.
We dabble a little, but not nearly as well as you dabble. And I am super curious what sort of enticed you with Lorcana.
Oh, well, I knew about Disney Lorcana. I heard about it. This is really funny, actually. I heard about it back in like January of what came out in 2023, right?
Yeah.
It was summer. So that year I had heard about it. And that was at the same time when Pokemon Pocket was coming out and all of these online phone games. And my husband had asked me something about it. And I was like, I don't care about those phone games. And then I was like, no, this is an actual trading card game, physical. And I was like, really? And that totally got my attention. And so then I dived into it. I was very excited to potentially have a game similar to Magic, but it does have its own life. But with Disney characters, I definitely saw whether or not the game would be good. I was like, I can cosplay as a Disney princess, and I'm all here for that because Magic characters are cool. But I was a character for Wizards of the Coast, and it was too spooky to put on their production video feeds. Like it was like, this is the character you had me do. It's too spooky. All right, that's fine. I guess.
Wait, you did it too well?
Is that the one where I'm going to butcher? I don't remember the character's name, but like you have like the long fingers and
I've seen Nebraska.
Yes. I think I've seen like the videos of you like trying to pick up stuff in the full cosplay. That cosplay was amazing. They were wrong. That was just you did too fantastic.
They just want Liliana on everything.
It was funny, full circle at the Disney Lorcana broadcast in Richmond. One of the guys he does production for Magic and Disney Lorcana, and he was like, "Oh, actually, I do remember." And yeah, you were too scary. And I was like, "Yeah, I finally get my
fine, okay,
my chance just as normal Zbexx."
What has been, so you've done cosplay obviously for some of the Lorcana characters. What has been your favorite cosplay that you've done so far on the Disney side?
Definitely Snow White Fair-Hearted. I got to combine a bunch of different techniques using both sewing as well as foam and armor making, and I made my little hair bow and everything and the little bird that decorated on it, and I did the shield with painting techniques that I tried to emulate the same shadows that the artist did, and I got to have her sign it, which was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. We're huge artist nerds as well. Like as much as we love playing, I think the art is something that we love as well. That's how I spent the
majority of my time at Richmond.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. The art's really special.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I'm excited as we like get into each set with all of the reveals that have been coming out for Winterspell this week. I love the enchanted art styles this set, that like paper craft where it looks kind of like they're layering the paper. It's just so cool. I'm so excited.
I love that they do a different style for each set. Mostly because for my brain, it makes it easier for organizing them. But I love that they just kind of like let the artist have at least some sort of freedom where it's like, hey, we're doing a completely different thing every set. So if it's like they get picked for another enchanted, they're not just having to do the same type of style. Change it up a little bit.
The setting is really interesting with it being winter. I wasn't quite so sure going into it, and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, duh." But it's done very cute and very
Yes.
well thought out. Like, it's much better than I interpret it to be, and the places they've taken it, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, it's really I think that's a great like comment to make because I feel like sometimes you see the initial like, oh, here's the promo picture of what this set is going to be. And a lot of the times I'll have that, oh, like, how are they going to do this? And like try to spiral down that, like, I don't know if they can do a whole set around this.
And
then
the
you
rabbit
see
hole of trying to put yourself into the shoes of the people that do it. You're like,
And then I have the moment when they start revealing things. I'm like, this is why they don't pay me. They pay much more creative people.
Well, and it kind of makes me enjoy the seasonal stuff too, because we're currently going through a freeze right now. It's been like 26 degrees Fahrenheit all week, which is not really normal for where I live in Oregon, but it's like cold, but it's not usually freezing. But so I'm like, okay,
Listen, we feel ya. We're in Texas and I'm originally from Chicago, so I'm definitely used to the cold. But
the tell sign in Texas is if this one politician that
leaves the
state, everyone just
we're doomed.
We're doomed. The power went out last time this happened. No one had for like over a week. Like the whole state lost power.
I remember when that happened. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was the last time that person left the state for a winter storm. And he just booked it. So super exciting for this weekend.
We were just discussing before you hopped on, before we went live. We were talking, I was like, if your power goes off, you can come and bring your dogs and your son my house and vice versa. And the same thing, we've had conversations with some of our other friends that like we might just be having a party at one of our houses if power goes out in some and not others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Winterspell feels like it fits right in.
Yes, exactly. I agree. And I think the storm is covering
Disney Lorcana put a lot of money into the advertisement for Winterspell.
Yeah, it was like most of the United States is being blanketed in snow this weekend. So,
Yeah, very good timing.
Elsa really did a number, I guess.
I love the new Elsa. She's so great.
It was really interesting hearing how they were trying to, with Elsa and with Tinkerbell, like meet the theme, but also meet the like, so Elsa is a ruby card versus, an amethyst or sapphire card this set, and being able to work in like the right coloring, but have it still fit in theme within ruby.
I did too. Yeah. And just all of the new details on her gown and everything. It really kind of gives that look, just the shoulders and everything. I don't know why, but I kind of associate that with different things that exist in Ruby, like Aladdin type of I know
exactly what you're getting at.
The shaping of the garments in general. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So I was curious, you obviously have been playing Magic for a long time. What got you into trading card games?
Oh, well, my husband, when we started dating, he played Magic, and I am pretty competitive, and I wanted to learn.
We don't know anything about being competitive. We're not.
Yeah, right. So I definitely was like, I want to learn how to play, and then he would always be talking about how there was this many people at Friday Night Magic, and then the next week there'd be 5 more to that number, and the next week after that even 5 more to that number. It kept growing, and I'm like, okay, well, if it's so popular, like, let's go, like, teach me how to play. And so I like learning how to play from him and got really into it and did get absorbed in the art. And then he is also very, obviously, since he was into it first, he was very interested in it, and we would travel to the Grand Prix and the Pro Tours, and at the time, they didn't have areas roped off back in the day. You could kind of just walk in between the tables and watch people at very high levels play, almost like a Disney Lorcana challenge. Like someone could say something over their shoulder and it would be very unsportsmanlike if they're not in the game, but I didn't want to say things and like be like, what's going on with this card they're playing there out loud. So I made costumes to feel like I could fit in. I was like, well, if we're gonna go to these things, I want to look like I know what I'm doing, or like that I want people to know that I play.
And
Even
yeah,
if
like
I,
you,
even if
you
I don't know what's
belong.
going on in the competitive, like because Magic's being a game that's existed for a lot longer has a lot larger number of cards that you need to know. And these formats that are modern or legacy, we're using years and years and years and years of sets of cards. So yeah, you can learn some and might recognize some, but as a newbie, like 6 months in, like I'll just make a costume.
That's
Listen,
awesome.
I've been to Magic Con and the art is probably my favorite thing for Magic stuff. And so I'll just be like, I'm just gonna hang out over by the artist tables. I feel
And there's so many cool artists, and there's a lot of different styles these
all the
days
art
too
from
than
all
there used to be.
Yeah, we've had really good experiences
Oh, yeah.
with artists just in like the Magic community and within the Lorcana community. But we've gone to a couple like larger events that are more geared towards Magic, but have had Lorcana tournaments, as well as like different organizers start getting into Lorcana more. And we've had such great like conversations
Oh,
with
yeah.
some of the artists.
I love that they have like so much freedom with their artwork that they can do
yes.
too, which Disney obviously cannot do because of it's Disney. But so like they can do like there was a Magic artist that had a playmat and it looked an awful lot like a character from a book that I was obsessed with at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, but if this was red and I could do this with it. And then he was like, I mean, yeah, just email me. I can do that. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it's pretty cool what the artists will do, different commissions or different custom pieces that you can get done. I have a few things that are pretty neat like that.
As some of the Winterspell and different sets have been announced that are upcoming, do you have like a dream movie or character that you want to come into the Lorcana world?
Oh, a dream character. Oh, I'm really excited about Monsters Inc. and Boo and that whole series coming up later this year. Attack of the Vine, I think it's called. Is the set. I'm very excited for that. Monsters Inc. was definitely a movie that I replayed a lot. Just a fun movie. But a dream character. I can't think of one who's not in it right now. I mean, I really love Belle. And Cinderella, kind of the classic Disney princesses that I grew up with watching, and they already have a lot of iterations. So I'll have to circle back on that. I'll think of if I think of
that's totally fair.
there.
I'm excited because my dream character is coming and they just announced it. So I have been wanting Merida from Brave so bad, and to see that he's going to be like featured on some of the packaging art.
It means she's going to be good.
Yeah, right. That's what I hope. So
I'm manifesting that Anastasia is going to get an honorable mention because she is technically a Disney princess now.
Yeah,
Disney owns
true.
it. She's on Disney Plus, so therefore she should be in my cards. Because I wouldn't even care if the card is good. I would just play with it just because it's Anastasia. I'd be like, this is mine. She is my precious.
So when you first got into Lorcana, you created a YouTube channel. And I'm drawing a blank. I was good and researched before.
Lorcana Academy.
Thank you. Yes.
There we go. Yeah. So I was like, we talked about this.
Yeah. And you basically created these videos to kind of help people get into the game. And now you're starting another channel.
The Play Lorcana podcast.
Yeah. So you guys are on like episode, I want to say like 13, or are you a little past that now?
I think we're, as far as like talking head episodes, we're on episode 9, but we've done a couple of gameplay episodes as well. So probably somewhere around there. We have one official video out on our new channel that just launched less than 48 hours ago. So
that was essentially what I was setting you up for, because I saw that you launched the new channel. So I wanted to plug because
thank you.
One of the big things that we kind of made us start this channel was there are so many amazing women and non-binary members of the community, and we wanted to make sure that we had a space that lifts them up and gets to showcase everything that we're doing for the community. Because when Bri and I started playing Lorcana, we were used to walking into game stores and seeing a lot of men, and it maybe not being the most welcoming environment. But when we started to play Lorcana, it was sort of the opposite. It felt like everybody was sort of welcoming you in and really helpful. So we were wanting to continue to grow that. So that's why a little background on our channel.
Thank you. I really appreciate, and that feeling resonates with me that Disney Lorcana is so different in its community aspect. I feel like I dismiss a lot of the scenarios of walking into a game store that's all men, because that's just how it's been for me for the past decade. Like I'm completely used to it. It's no big deal. If things that people ask, if like, oh, does this happen to you? Like, I'm like, maybe, like, I guess I don't even, if it does, I don't even notice it, or like it's, just part of the territory.
It's funny you say that, because I think once you sort of get like confident enough in yourself and that like you deserve to be in the space, like you sort of like even ignore and like don't even see some of the things that are happening, or like register it, because you're like, whatever, I'm playing my game. I enjoy this. I deserve to be here. I don't care what you think.
I'm like currently learning another TCG game as well, and we went to a league night to play it for me to learn how to play that evening. I'd never touched the card, never played before, and I got there first round. My opponent was like, oh yeah, I've never played before either. Like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, and like was like not missing any triggers on his stuff, but was like not pointing out the things on, like, I thought I had to do something to make something happen, but it turns out I didn't. It was just always supposed to be an effect, and he just like never like took it into effect. And I was just like, oh, and like after the fact, I was like, you know what? If your ego needs to win that badly, good for you, buddy. Like,
right?
I apparently really need it.
Like when you're trying to learn a new game, people should be more understanding, or be like, yeah, I'm still gonna crush you even if I point it out one time.
Yeah, I sat down, I was like, hey, like I'm learning to play. This is probably gonna be the longest win of your evening, but I'm here to learn.
It's nice to have a space that's a lot more inclusive, and I don't know why it is. I don't know if y'all have been able to identify that with focusing more on women and non-binary and femmes. Like,
so I think the thing that I've noticed with Lorcana is the community itself is very protective of the space, and like is much more apt to, like, if you do something that is crappy, for lack of a better way to phrase it, you'll get called out. Like somebody will stand up and be like, you can't do that. Like, don't do that.
That's not what we do here.
Yeah. And I think that is really cool. It also makes me wonder, like, hey, can you just do that all the time? Like when you play Magic, or when you play like when you're just in any space, can we just like all agree to do this all the time?
Right. I do feel like it's starting to change. Like the number of creators that I see in both Disney Lorcana and Magic, there are people promoting femme, girly pop, these different approaches. And I'm like, yes, like I feel like I'm not alone, or I feel like I've never even thought of making that type of content because I didn't think it would appeal to the masses. And it's really refreshing to see those people creating that type of content doing so well. I'm like, yes, like I'm here for it.
Hey, Mal. If you have not met TFM Melissa, she is wonderful. She is an insanely awesome player as well as person.
I know who she is. I don't know if we've met in person per se.
What are you looking at now? I see that like stare down.
No, I'm looking in the background on her shelf. It looked like Sonic the Hedgehog, or
it's Knuckles.
It's Knuckles. Okay, I was like, I saw the look of it. I was like, wait, is that a red Sonic, or is that Knuckles? Or
I was like, what is distracted Bri? This is where I say I warned Zbexx as soon as she got on and we were prepping for the episode. I was like, I need to just let you know, we have an agenda and we try to stick to it, but also we're a little unhinged and all over the place. And the vibe is just, we're here for a good time.
No, I am easily distracted. Also, slightly specifically with that, because my son is currently on a Sonic the Hedgehog journey.
Nice.
And so my nephew got him his first Sonic stuff, and now he's at a point where Sonic sleeps in the bed with him, and he has a Sonic that he takes with him places, and he is starting on his Sonic journey. My nephew's super excited.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. I do love Sonic. I proudly won that out of a claw machine.
Heck yes.
I love it.
I was trying to win some claw machine winnings over the weekend, and I failed miserably, but I did really well at some of the other arcade games. We went to an arcade with some friends and did go-karts, which
Nice.
was slightly terrifying because
Is it the
they're
Andretti?
yes.
Oh my gosh, I want to go there so bad. It looks fun.
It's
The
really
child in me
cool.
wants to go.
Child it's
in
an
me is
indoor
living the best
racetrack not far from our house, and it's essentially, I think it was like 17 laps that you did, and it's like a multi-level indoor track, and they're not like little puttery go-karts.
What part of
They're-
Texas
it's like
are
a
y'all in?
DFW. We're in the
Oh,
Dallas-Fort Worth area.
okay. Well, we're gonna have to hang out. I'm coming to Dallas in like I think April or May. I have to look it up.
Okay, I was also going to say we are slowly going to start hyping an awesome event called the Hunter Burton Memorial. They just announced the dates for it. It is March 13th through 15th. It is an amazing event that is...
It's also big Magic stuff, so if your husband wants to also come, it's mostly a Magic thing. They branched out into other TCGs because of how everyone wants to support it.
Yeah, but it is essentially it's a fundraiser for this nonprofit that sends
Suicide prevention awareness
at different TCGs, at different local game stores. They'll send people out to kind of talk about suicide awareness. So something that has been very near and dear to my heart, and ever since they added Lorcana, I've gone every year. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Hunter Burton was a Magic player that
I was gonna say I recognize the name.
Suicide. His parents are who actually run, and they're at the Hunter Burton, and they do a speech every year, and they're always very sweet and very happy, and there's always tears of them being grateful for so many people willing to come out.
But it's a really good event.
Stores donate, and you get crazy stuff. Liam came and get stuff donated from artists, and the amount of prizing for it is usually just bananas.
Very cool. And that's in March, you said.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And I know that they don't have the flyer ready yet, but I was talking with the team that handles the Lorcana event, and as soon as it's ready, they're going to share it with me because I want to hype this event, because I feel like last year the attendance was kind of down from the first year, so I was like, I'm gonna make this happen. We're gonna get everybody pumped and signed up for this, because this year it's actually gonna be a 2K, and
we will be going
they
to
scale
stores.
prizing as well. So essentially, they'll get donations from stores on top of that 2K. So I think it's gonna be a good one to attend.
Nice.
And it was the first competitive Lorcana event that I ever played in.
Yeah, we thought you were like, I was like, you come to this with us. You're
It's
coming.
your
I call that our
anniversary
anniversary
event.
Yes,
That's
Like
awesome.
it is exactly.
oh, that's fantastic. I love that. That makes me love it even more.
Yeah. That's
well,
so cool.
One of the things on our agenda is talking about DLC Richmond, since we postponed last week's episode because we were dying. You had flight issues as well. It worked out honestly for the best because I still didn't have a voice. We're at like 80-90% now. So I am kind of glad that we didn't try to suffer through last week.
Yeah. Last week would have been rough
Yes.
for everyone all around.
Yeah, I could not believe that I got stuck overnight in Seattle, but I got home, almost a full 24 hours later than I expected. So thank you for also having me tonight instead.
Oh, no problem. We love guests anytime. Once you're invited, you're always welcome back.
Mhm.
So whenever you want to hang out with us, you're more than welcome.
Cool.
But you got to cast. How
I
was
did.
casting, and what was your experience like? That's a very
I
broad question.
absolutely loved casting. My experience was spectacular. I still feel like I'm on a cloud, even though it's more than a week later. I feel like it went really well. I got good feedback from different people, both on the team that I was working with from Ravensburger and people who were on the production side of things who, were the hired crew. So that was nice. I did find that I felt pretty comfortable. So I feel like that's as good as you can hope for it. I had a lot of nerves leading into it, nervously anticipating whether or not I'd do well, but it's not necessarily outside of my wheelhouse, and it's something I've wanted to do for a long time. I had applied to do it for Magic in the past, so it's not a new ambition either. So the fact that I got the opportunity finally on a large scale with Disney Lorcana was very special.
That's awesome. That's super cool to hear. So have you cast for Magic event, like any other Magic events before?
I've cast a little bit online with other folks during the pandemic on some
Okay.
webcam games.
What was like the biggest difference between casting for Magic versus Lorcana?
Ooh, well, Magic is less more about the gameplay. I don't know. It was so just random. It was for a fundraiser, and it didn't really matter as much in the
Okay.
same way that everything matters for Disney Lorcana. Also, the technology wasn't quite back there back in the pandemic. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, it was only 5 or 6 years
I
ago.
mean, sometimes I try to black it out, but also, yes, I definitely remember.
But certain things that do exist now, such as the card recognition, where if you click on it on your screen and it will pop up and tell you what card it is on the side, those features got established during the pandemic because people were using web browsers more. And so in the beginning, when I did more of this casting, it was like, I'm pretty sure that's this card, but it's hard to tell with this grainy webcam here that we're not quite using the like our camera technology has also gone so far in 5 years. So the difference, it was such a different setting from more just casual and
Casual. Mhm.
chatting, kind of what we're doing now. Just like we're the background chatter with some magic on the back. It was
Yep.
where the Disney Lorcana broadcast was much more serious. It's on their Twitch channel. They
Yes.
want the card names, both the main name and the sub name, read so that anybody at home would be able to identify which version of that character is on the screen if they can't see it clearly or it's not put up on the side. So it was just very different as far as the settings just were completely different. And I
No,
was
that's
like
definitely
sitting
fair. I've
here
also
casting. I can have whatever. Where there it's like,
Yes.
Absolutely.
No, that makes sense. The other thing that I've heard, I haven't watched a ton of other TCG like casting, but I've also heard that with Lorcana, there's a lot more like storytelling with it and like building not only upon like what is actually happening in the game, but like more holistically, like almost closer to like a real like a sports event casting where you're getting like stats and background versus this is what's happening.
Yeah, I really like how they focus on the different player stories. I would say back in the day when Star City Games did do their tour coverage and they had a more consistent thing that went all around the United States, not just on the East Coast, there was a time when I feel like they had a leaderboard of points. And so they would kind of naturally follow those people. And it does make it a lot more entertaining to watch. So I really love that Disney Lorcana does do that. And does focus on diversity and who they're featuring in feature match. You really notice it being both backstage, and I think hopefully you can tell from the stream that they are recognizing and trying to pull different representations from people who are doing well in the tournament too. Is like, look, these people are doing well. Let's give them on camera and give them a chance to shine and give them a chance to make themselves have a character moment, which we've seen some really cool people come into the scene because of that. So
I definitely agree. I think they do a good job at the DLCs of like mixing where it's like it's somebody that the community may know, but also somebody that, you know, maybe you should know because they are also a good player. It is wild because we only have 3 DLCs this year. We're also not bitter at all about that.
No poker face, just karate chop my microphone. I'm mad about it. But hopefully, I hope that I've noticed that they've had a different roster of some other broadcasters, and I love that they're giving different people an opportunity. My hope is that maybe that means they'll have enough, they can staff more Disney Lorcana challenges and they'll be just great, right? Like that's
my hope as well. I also try to think about it from like a broader perspective of like, I am really excited that like the rest of the world is getting opportunities for competitive Lorcana and try not to be a selfish American.
Yes, but also I'm like that it's global. It is good to be global.
Yeah.
But then there's the real part of me that I'm like, I can't travel internationally right now. I need more Lorcana events local.
At least one on the West Coast. Like,
yes.
I feel really fortunate. I was not expecting to go to Richmond prior to getting the job as a broadcaster. And so it was nice to get to do that because now I am looking at Indianapolis as, whatever I'm going as, whatever a job or a competitor or an attendee, whatever I plan to do, I plan to be there most likely. So but that was as far east as I was planning on going for Disney Lorcana. So
yeah, and because that even just going to Indy is a hike from the West Coast. Yeah. So, and Richmond, we had direct flights from Dallas, but I did not take a direct flight because I flew Southwest because I had some points and my flight was a whopping $11 with points.
Nice. I love that.
But it was an adventure to get there because of all the connecting flights. So I felt for everybody traveling from the West Coast or even just outside of the East Coast because it was a feat to get there.
Yeah.
I will say the convention center was really nice. The food that they offered inside was really healthy. It was really great in comparison to a lot of convention
I was very
centers.
happy to have grilled chicken as an option somewhere. I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness.
I had that grilled chicken Caesar salad every day and it was great.
That is a good point. Sometimes convention food,
hot dogs and nachos and pretzels.
Yep.
You can't survive long competitive days or even just days going around and having the time of your life as an attendee on French fries at a certain point in life.
One of the things that we did this time, so in the past, Bri and I have both done competitors badges, and this time, Bri, you had a lot of life happening close to the DLC. So
I think anyone that saw me at the DLC can attest to life was hitting me hard that weekend. So fun fact, I have endometriosis. Being a woman sucks. And I was not doing well. Liam saw me and was very concerned. Shout out to Liam. Love you.
He was wonderful.
He was making sure I was surviving repeatedly. Even after. I was like super sweet. But I apparently looked like I was on my deathbed to a point that a judge came over the second or third round to ask me to pause our game to ask me if I was okay because I looked like I was going to pass out.
No.
I ended up dropping and just going and hanging out and making friendship bracelets with my good friend Kirby and giving them out to people and trying not to die and just make it through the weekend.
But I wasn't going to go into all that, but I appreciate that you are
Listen,
willing to share. I know that you are more than willing to share. But life happens. So you initially had gone in thinking you were just going to do an attendee badge, and a competitor badge popped up. So you.
Yeah, I went full-fledged. I had it pulled up on my phone, and I went with my friend to pick up her badge after picking it up from the airport. And I was like, I'm just going to check and see. And I refreshed the app, and a competitor badge popped up. And I was like, do I buy this right now? I guess I just buy it.
And then on the flip side, I was lucky and had the opposite happening in life. I was lucky and I just got a new job, but between the last day at my old job and my new job, I took some time off. And kept joking that I was a professional Lorcana player. And
for the whole week.
Yeah, for a whole week.
I love it.
Was playing a lot of games, prepping for the DLC, and feeling really confident going in that I had put in the time to do well. And Friday I played the large event, and did not do fantastic with the deck I had been testing with. I basically just ran into my worst matchups, and then proceeded to get into my head, and at midnight decided to change decks, and I had only played the deck twice before.
Oh no. Well, how'd you do on Saturday?
Not too great. Not too great.
Okay.
So this is a PSA to everybody. Stick with what you know. Stick with what you
don't change it at midnight the night before.
No, it's not worth it.
It's not a good idea.
Have faith in that you prepared, and even if you have a bad day with your deck, sometimes you just have bad matchups, and stick with what you've prepped with. Is my advice to everybody. I had a great time still playing. I played.
You stuck with it the whole day.
I did. I was trying to get my Mulan. I did not earn a Mulan.
You get your Mulan? Oh,
but okay, so no one feel bad for me. I was lucky. I got a Mulan in Milwaukee. It's totally fine. And I think it was one of the, it was a good learning event for me, and being comfortable in losing. I have been trying to be more competitive. So obviously I want to win.
Sure.
But when I wasn't, I was still enjoying the game and getting to meet a lot of really great people in the community. I had some really awesome interactions. I got to, as I like to say, pixie dust some other members of the community that I played against. We were talking about both being really big fans of going to the parks, and we were talking about the Festival of the Arts promos that were coming up, and he was really excited to get to go with his family to go get those, but mentioned that he wasn't able to get the Disneyland promos that they did a few months back. And I just happened to have both of an extra one of each in my trade binder, and I took my binder out and slid them across the table, and he goes, "What do you want for these?" And I go, "Nope. You get to now have all the promos when you go get the rest of them at Disney World." And it was a really great moment because he was like in utter shock. You could tell he was like not expecting that. And it was just, I've had those moments myself, and it's fun to then give them back to other people in the community.
That's really cool.
So yeah. It was one of those moments where I was like, this is not my day to win. But we still had a really good day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that can be hard when your deck's not working out. But that is like the big thing going back to the Lorcana community just being so cool. Like I feel like other trading card communities get too burnt on losing too easily.
And one of like the big things that, as I've like switched into more of like the competitive space in Lorcana, that I've been trying to focus on is like mind space in playing, because I have realized like, yes, you can play a million games, but if you get inside your own head, like maybe when you are doing so well that you think your deck
has to be wrong, because that's the only reason why you would be 4-0. It's the only logical explanation. Is your
only logical explanation. And then you hand your deck to your best friend and go, count this, make sure I have all my cards. I'm not saying this from experience by anyone sitting next to me. No one sitting next to me has ever done that.
Oh my goodness.
And then spiral.
And then proceeds to confirm your deck is fine, and then you spiral because you're like, oh, I'm not good enough to be going 4-0. Like this
is wrong. I'm at the wrong table.
I
should not be at table 3.
Believe it or not, you can do well. You can do well.
Thank you. That's like been one of the things that I've tried to focus on, even when I'm having like a rough day at a tournament, is finding the positives in the day and not getting like too hard on myself. I was fully aware that like I was not doing great because I made choices of switching to a deck that I wasn't as familiar with as I should, like as I was with my older deck. And that was totally my own fault. I got inside my head and immediately I was like, yeah, this was a mistake. I should not have done this last night.
Well, and it sounds like you had a good interaction in the later rounds that made it worth it. And I think that's cool that you were still happy playing. I think there's an important time that if you're ever no longer enjoying it, you should drop from the tournament.
Yes, because you don't want to give somebody else a bad experience.
Yeah, so it's just if you do feel that, I know there's definitely been times where people are like, you should keep playing, and I'm like, no, I'm dropping because I don't feel like it anymore. It's like,
and that I think that's such a good thing to say, because you are so right. If you can't get back into the mind space to enjoy what you're doing, and like,
yeah, especially a challenge when there's so many people that you just want to meet and interact with, or things you can do. Like I think there's other times where it's like, yeah, I can drop from this one tournament and I'll come and play again and I'll feel better the next day.
And I think Saturday, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drop. I am super embarrassed and I don't feel good. I'm gonna go hang out with artists and get doodles and stuff signed and make friendship bracelets and talk to people, because that's
which also sounds equally awesome. I
had so much fun bracelets. And I ended up buying a box from the Lorcana booth that was set up at the end of the day on Sunday when they mixed in some of the promos. I got one of the Let It Go promos from there. I got gifted a Mulan promo from Randall, and then Courtney gifted me a Pegasus promo. So I was like, I got stuff off the prize ball. I was like, you know, listen, I live my best life. I was like, I had fun. I was like, I came to hang out and see friends.
And my goal initially going into DLC Richmond was to day 2. I didn't achieve that goal, but I had the best consolation prize. So my best friends actually are currently living in the Virginia area. So they drove to Richmond that day, and I was able to get some badges for them to come in and bring my nephew and nieces. And I got to teach them about Lorcana, and they
already love Disney.
Yeah, they're huge.
Easy sell.
Yeah, it was an easy sell, but we got to do one of the quests. So that was really fun. And I think it was a really great way to like interact with kids at the challenge. And that was something with Richmond that I thought they really stepped their game up with the family area.
The kids badges, the coloring area, the quest, like stuff for kids to do. That I was like, oh man, like I could have easily have brought my son to this and he would have actually been entertained.
Also, there were a bunch of moms playing with their infant babies, which is also
4-week-old baby.
I saw that on the floor. I didn't have time to stop by, but I was like,
"Oh, I stopped by every table that had Mama." I missed my son. I was stopping by every table that had a small child.
When I first met Bri,
I was that mom.
Yes, she had her son.
I had my 4-week-old at the Hunter Burton.
Nice. I love it.
And I was like, who's this crazy lady playing with a baby? I like her. She seems cool.
Yeah. And then I heard Courtney talk about books, and I came and sat down next to her with all of my baby. I was like, I heard you say a book that I like.
I love that. Yeah, we were talking about books before we went live, so that's instantly something I would be like, yes, let's please get to know each other.
And it's been funny. We are always funny when a new girl or woman comes into the game store and wants to play Lorcana. I was like, what are you playing tonight? Do you need cards? I have extras. I can give you some.
We can help you.
I was like,
you want to
Do you
need
want
tips to learn to play more? Do you?
Would you like to practice?
Please stay.
Is this your first time?
Sure,
Our
have
friend,
more.
our friend Chelsea, definitely was that an experience.
She was the first victim, I think, of our full-fledged account.
Hi,
hello. You come back.
Yes, please come back. Do you need cards? I'll give you cards. No, don't worry. You can just have these.
I love that. There's got to be
This is exactly
more people. Yes, exactly. More people pushing other people into the game in a positive way. Like, yes, come join us. One of us.
Yes,
exactly.
it is exactly that. And I feel like we have been really lucky in the DFW area because I feel like when I started to play, Lorcana in Into the Inklands. So there was already like kind of an established community. Cards were a little iffy to get in those
that was
times.
a hard time. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Times were rough out.
yeah. So I finally was like free. The reason I was delayed was I went back to school to get my master's, and so I was
nice.
I finally had some extra time because I was nearing the end of my program. I was like, okay, finally Disney cards. Let's go make this happen. And I went into our local game store and I bought a box. And the first pack I opened an Enchanted Robin Hood. And
she was hooked ever
then
since.
I was hooked ever since. And now I like shiny things a lot. But it was so nice. It was so wild. The first store I went into, and I was there for League. I was opening the box, and like everybody around me was like, "Oh my God, this is your first time? Oh, you opened an Enchanted? Here's a sleeve. Like, and did you need cards from like set 1 and 2? I have these, like this
I
bulk."
think I brought her boxes and was like, "You can just have all of these boxes. Like, take whatever you want. Like, all of these are yours. Please
I
come
love
back."
that.
And that has been our experience basically, like up into like I think 2 weeks ago we had a new player at League, and we were all like, "Oh, we have all these cards. You may have our bulk. Like here you go."
And they're like, "Are you sure this has this in it?" And we're like, "Yes."
Nope, it's fine. We've got enough.
Take it.
The Lorcana community is cool like that here too. I know at least in Eugene, I've had different times where I'm like, "Oh, I don't have these cards for this deck. I'm playing it for store champs. Like, does anybody have it?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, you can just have them. I'll just give you those cards." I'm like, "No, but really, like, I have trades, or like I can give you money." And they're like, "No, it's fine. Just have them. Like, I have extras." And so then I'll usually end up just like buying them a booster pack and be like, "Here, pick your pack." Like, thanks. Like, yeah, they weren't that many. That wasn't expensive rares. I just wasn't ones that I had in my collection or uncommons, you know. But it's pretty cool. I've even seen at a different store championship when I wasn't playing, someone forgot some cards for their deck and they couldn't find them, and they were freaking out as they were doing their deck registration. And another player was like, "Hey, I have them in my binder if you just want to borrow them for the event." It's like when it was cards for a Ruby Amethyst deck, which at the time was the deck. And it was like, "Oh, you're giving somebody the potential to like be a deck to beat you." Like you just don't see that in other cards.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No. Like it's crazy. When like crazy cool in a good way, the best way.
Yeah, that exact thing actually happened this past weekend at a store set champs that my husband was judging.
It's absurd in an awesome way. Yeah, and everybody's so friendly. I love it.
And I love Chelsea. You are 100% correct. She went from like a starter deck to this is gonna lose every time you play to us, and we want you to have fun. So like, here, throw these in there, and maybe take this out, and like basically like kept her play style, but have like upgraded it, and now she just upgrades it herself because she's better than most of us.
Yeah.
I love that. Go Chels.
And then so I put together, what has been your favorite card reveal so far for Winterspell?
Oh, definitely the Elsa. I'm gonna go back to that. I'm going to Portland, which is 2 hours away, to buy fabric for a different project. But I will also be buying fabric for Elsa while I'm up there, because I've been wanting, people in Richmond were asking me what I was going to do. And I was like, I don't know, but I feel like I want to do something new. And then like it's freaking Elsa. Like, I
You
kind
are
of did a
Elsa,
nod
though.
to her already.
Yeah,
So
you
to do an actual one is kind of cool because I did that before Disney Lorcana even existed.
Well, like you already look like Elsa, so you basically just already are her.
yeah,
Unless
You
you
no
have to
wig or anything needed. You just got to make a cool costume.
Yeah.
So it's like half
It's
the
just the
battle.
clothes.
I would still probably put in some extensions.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's
to
fair.
get
That makes
extra
sense.
braid.
To get the, like-
It's like just get
yeah.
your hair touched up a little bit, just go a little bit lighter just for the cosplay.
Exactly. Yeah. What about
this-
you? What cards do you like so far?
So I cheated. I have them coming up. Some of them. This is what happens when you're the person who puts together.
Okay, well, is Moana on there? Because I like that ability.
Yes. I was also really excited. I know they had one of the Mickey and Minnie playmats at the DLC. I didn't see it, but I saw some videos of it, and from the released video earlier this week. It looks amazing, and I'm gonna need that for sure. But yeah, Moana, I think, might be one of my favorites. The other is the Genie, which I have that too. But the art style on both these Iconics and the Enchanted, they're just so cool.
I love them. I really like the holographicness of them too. It appears more rainbow reflective.
Yes.
I saw it pointed out somewhere on someone pointed it out on one of the many Lorcana pages that I'm on. But there has been an amber iconic every time for all three of them now.
Oh.
There's been an amber card chosen for each one. So they are like, people are like, was that an accident or was this like there's always going to be an amber and then there's going to be another one. But I feel like it might have just been like
happy coincidence. I also, though, am a huge fan of the tin hat theories that come out, like the puzzle theory for Fabled cracked me up.
That's why I saw it and I was like I love I think that's the Swiftie in me that's like, oh, we're looking for Easter eggs.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
But this Genie, I think, is a cool card. I like the kind of upgrade of the boost mechanic. This set where it actually matters how many times you boost a character.
Yeah.
It also, this is kind of one of those things that I really enjoy about Lorcana. I like that the game has kind of started off as this, I don't want to say like super simple, but like I feel like they've intentionally been really good about increasing the complexity of it with each set and not like overwhelming players. So I still think like, while it can be a really competitive, grindy game for the like high-end players, it also is a really good entry-level TCG at the same time. And I think it's neat, even with like the gateway. I think it's cool how if you try to learn how to play Lorcana through the gateway, like that's such a nice way that they like tier each time you level up in that, you get introduced to a new mechanic. And I think that this is cool how they've increased that boost mechanic and the complexity of it with the next set. So it kind of like eases you into it.
Yeah, if for anybody who came from other trading card games and saw Lorcana in its first year and was like, yeah, this isn't for me, too simple. It's like, yeah, it was pretty, there wasn't as much to it. The card pool wasn't as big, but it wasn't that it wasn't much to it. They were building on these ideas, and you can really see where they're getting to utilize these different card types and mechanics with boost, and like Angel with discarding cards, and then with cards like Moana where you can ink from your inkwell. Like they're putting stuff right in the set for us that if you want to open your eyes and see, it's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, it isn't as like simple as it may seem, like right off the bat. Like there is a lot of complexity, and I like that
you could play simple if you're just starting out, and that would be okay too. If you just see Genie as a 3/4 and you don't know, if you don't read the boost, he'll still do stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
it's still good stats.
But
I'm so excited for Angel.
I knew
Yeah.
I didn't have to. So a lot of times I will put these decks together before the show, and sometimes I'll ask Bri because I'll have a question of like what she wants added in, but then other times I'm like,
most of the time she can just read my mind. She just already knows what I'm gonna like. So
Cool.
I was like,
I already know she's
I
gonna
don't.
like these.
Yeah, I was like, Angel is going to be her choice. I don't need to
Yeah.
call her and ask.
I love it.
And then I'm just excited for also like getting introduced into new like Darkwing is awesome to have in the game now. I love adding in some of the different Disney IPs is always super fun.
Listen, I've been watching DuckTales for the first time and it is so entertaining. Like I'm an adult and I'm like, I love this. This is so much fun.
I do have to make I don't think it's probably like a wild opinion, but I do need to make the statement that if Do You Want to Build a Snowman is not an Enchanted, I might have to riot.
Yeah, okay. Maybe Riot and they want to build snowmen.
Listen, every other Elsa
Has gotten an Enchanted.
has gotten Enchanted. If they don't do it with this one, and this is the one that they decide to break that trend with,
I'm gonna be really sad because
there's gonna be a riot.
Bri and I both have older sisters. So I feel like you will also understand. I was like, I need this for my sister. Like I need her to see this. I'm also excited for like the Winterspell card. I think this is a really neat mechanic, and I'm intrigued to see if we're going to see more location decks come back into the meta. I feel like everybody always kind of wants them to do things, but they're never quite strong enough. So it'll be interesting to see some of the other cards that get released the rest of the set, and if we see some stronger like location synergy.
I definitely feel like there's more cards that have the keyword location on them, which get every little bonus here and there, even if it's not the strongest card. Like you're not doing anything with Winterspell besides protecting your location, but the fact that you could have a ink fodder and all the other things then that are coming out in Winterspell, it's got a lot of potential. I definitely feel like it's one of those things where the longer the game is out, the better these things will become. So even if right now the locations still aren't like we don't know, we haven't seen everything yet, but they don't make it into the top core constructed decks or infinity decks here in the next season, whatever, a year from now there might be some other new location cards that come out, and then all of a sudden all of these are busted. I feel like we're just so at the beginning of it, and so I think a lot of these cards have long-term potential.
I really like that perspective because I think we talk about that a lot, like between the two of us, that like, oh, it's just new, like maybe it'll like something will happen. But I also think we get pigeonholed into the like, what can we play now? Like, what can we play now? Because that's what we're looking.
Because then you get stuck and you're like, oh, we don't need Tiana. Like, we just need it for the collection. We don't really need that many of her. And then X amount of time goes by and then everyone wants her and she's super expensive. And you're like, oh, cool. I could have picked this up for $5. But now it's like 40. So cool. For me.
Yes. There's
Not
a reason I keep 2 play sets, and
there's I want to play this deck. I don't have the cards. I call Courtney. Do you have Tiana's I can borrow for tomorrow?
Yes. And the answer is always yes. Everybody knows we joke locally that I have the Lorcana lending library.
Oh, that's
she has her
sweet.
Play set and then her play set for people to borrow. You just have to call her before
have a couple people. It's nice if you're able to do that for your community. It's really nice.
I really like that because I would rather everybody like get to play something competitive and not be like hindered by like costs. Like I'm lucky that I get to buy the amount of packs that I get to buy, and
the more people that play is better. Yeah.
I just live the anti-life. It's a good life to lead.
You have 2 very expensive babies. They are just
fur babies.
Fur babies.
That's how it is. You have one type of baby or another. They either are humans or they have fur.
Which, speaking of fur, Todd is adorable.
It's so cute.
This Todd
I
card
don't
is
know if the card is going to be good, but the art,
precious.
10 out of 10.
I do also have to say, I saw a reel recently about this movie, and I was like, no, quick scroll
Thoughts
by.
in the
Like,
hand.
don't. I was like, do
Yeah.
not hit me in the feels right now. And everybody also
Yeah.
were. I saw when this card popped up, like about rewatching it or not rewatching it, and the answer is don't torture yourself. Let
I
that live in-
rewatched it like less than a year ago, and I was like, I don't remember it being so sad at the end.
My
I was like,
son,
I loved that movie. I don't think I ever finished it or paid attention when
Mhm.
you're little. By the end, the time the end comes around,
Yeah,
you
that
maybe you don't
tracks.
get it.
yeah, see, my son is 2, and he saw Doggies, and he wanted to watch it, and I was like, okay, and I like wasn't thinking, just clicked Doggies, and I was cleaning, doing stuff, and my husband comes out of the office, he goes, "Why are you doing this to him? Why are you traumatizing him this young?" And I was like, oh, I didn't think about it. Honestly, I didn't think he would pay attention for this long.
That's funny.
It's valid. Well, we are coming up on an hour. One of the things about our show is while we do try to cover everything, we also try to stick to an hour because sometimes we all have lives, and we also want other women that have a million things on their plate to be able to watch the show and not have to worry about getting the rest of their
Not
life
knowing
done.
when.
That's
And
very thoughtful.
like,
Honestly.
right, like it, because sometimes
we can
like,
always hang out again because there's
Yes,
always time
exactly.
for more. Yeah.
Yes. So, before we wrap up, we would love for you to plug yourself, plug your new channel. I know in the show notes, we have a link to get to all of your channels. So if anyone is looking for them, feel free to take a look at the description on YouTube or in the show notes. And you can definitely follow Zbexx because you should if you aren't already.
Yeah, I'm Zbexx everywhere. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all of the text platforms and the video platforms. Play Lorcana Podcast is the new YouTube channel, which is very exciting that we've made a permanent home for it. That's, kind of a big step in the right direction. So thank you again for having me here on the Enchanted Chatter tonight, Courtney.
Of course. And you are always welcome back. We would love to have you. If you ever want to hang out with us, just give us a shout.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.